That's the ultimate goal for me, and I think it's going to be challenging for sure. But I think nothing's impossible, so that's what I'm trying to this season. More consistent race, more consistent podium finishes, and that's what our goal is. And I think we are able to do that. We are capable to do that. Plus, last year we were quite, how can I say, how do I say? Well, we are not very competitive for the super speedway race, and we know why we want, and that's why, especially with Alan McDonald's joined the team, who he brought quite significant different view in terms of the setup philosophy, and I personally haven't tried yet, but Graham did it with I think it was October test, the IndyCar test, and already felt a significant step forward as a team. So it will be a great boost for the team, and I'm certainly looking forward to that. So all in all, I think we'll be able to more consistently be a competitive team in 2019. That's what I'm very up for it. Plus, this new truck, obviously one that you said last week we tested, and the next 2 days will be definitely bring more tensions and interest for the fans, as well as inside of our, we are passionate. Is always go to the new venue is always I don't know how to say it. It's always yeah, I'm excited. So that's how we are.
Eddie is your engineer. Now Alan's working with Graham.
Yes.
And
Tom German became a technical director.
With Graham said that Eddie and Alan are like an old married couple in many ways, that they kind of think alike. But to have that addition, add that much more depth to the engineering department. I mean, your team's got to match up with any team when it comes to engineering.
Yeah, I think it's a good, really good engineering. I mean, having said that, all the team I belonged in the past is always good. The boys and the engineers, and they're working differently, but everyone is really extremely how can I say? Obviously, it's great people. But like you said, yes, Alan and Eddie has got a long history, back from Team Green days, right? 100 to before 180. So I think they share a lot of stuff, a lot of old fashions as well as current things that are particularly Alan, has experience, and he's been a couple of different teams, and all the teams been extremely fast, particularly for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So, which is all our interest, of course.
And also, you've been described as an ageless wonder in many ways. It's like the older you get, the faster you become. Why is that? I mean, a lot of drivers your age are starting to slow down. You just seem to be getting started.
Yeah, I don't know. It's somewhat well, I'm going to be degrading for sure, somewhat.
It's just like Tom Brady.
I think physically, no offense, you can't directly beat for the young powers, of course not. But motor racing is one of the great things. It's just not only just physical strength, right? It's coordination and also your experience. And as long as you keep it up for the reaction and your thought and your, how do you say, what you see for what is happening in the sport, I think doesn't have to be 20s.
Yeah.
I think in the 40 years of age, it's quite challenging in terms of the athletic point of view, and that's why I have to train a lot. But I'm quite up for it, and I still feel I'm learning, I'm developing, and I think it's a good feeling. So, of course, it's quite a few years to come that I have to decide maybe make it next move or next decision. But while I'm getting still have opportunity, I wanted to concentrate. So,
along the lines of Bruce's question, at this point in your career, do you feel like at 40 that you work more efficiently or smarter than you did at, say, 20?
Yeah.
And how is that? How do you work different?
Sure. It's definitely experience is one thing. I don't know if you know everything in my story, but I start racing quite late. So when I was 20, I start racing. So that means like maybe 90% of drivers here before 10 years old, he get karting. So by the time they come to the IndyCar, they have more than 10 years of experience for the racing, at least. Yes, I was racing in Europe for a long time. So in terms of experience, length, yes, but for me it was so much learning all the time. So if you compare to the one lap for the fastest time, compared to myself, 25 years old, when I was driving for the Rahal Honda in Formula 1 car, perhaps I'll be at least the same, but I'm no longer quicker than where I was. But if you go to the racing, I feel confident that I can beat myself because now I know how to manage the whole race, and experience definitely made me a better, a smarter driver. So that's why I'm still doing it. If I feel I'm behind, then I will probably retire. So I think experience is anything more than anything, but also my passion says I want to race again. I want to race again. Still wanted to demand for the win and to go to be the fastest and that sort of thing has made me a great motivation.
You've been at a lot of teams over the years. Obviously, coming back to Rahal for your second time. I mean, what have you seen now in this second time? Now that you've been here a year, that you really enjoy, that's a lot different than maybe your first experience here?
Yeah, quite different, honestly. I mean, of course, Bobby's there, Mike Lanigan and David as well. But other than few managing the people, the whole new face has been changed. Rahal is still Rahal, of course, but I don't know. I see, in a good way, it's a different team. It's one team is one common thing is just the philosophy is always the same, but the bunch of the quality control in terms of as a race team operation wise and how you use resource, like 2-3 times better than where I was, because back in 2012 that was the first year reunion as a Rahal team to go to the IndyCar. They'd been past in the IndyCar team, but then they were away, right? And they reunion. And that time, we brought the European engineer and some fresh airs, and then we had a lot of good ideas, but we really couldn't make most of it. But now look at the team, and like I said, the Graham was one of the best Honda drivers for the past 4 or 5 seasons as a single car team. That was very impressive. Now I see why, very strong engineering base, and the last year was really unfortunate. We couldn't really, hook up the speed initially. But if you see the second half of the season, we getting better and better and better. So these momentum, definitely we can carry to 2019. And I see the team is growing, still growing, very, very professional team. So I'm very happy to be Rahal. Kind of really feel home to back in the after 2012.
I asked Graham how you guys got along, and he said, "Yeah, he's a good guy. We get along okay." I mean, how would you describe your relationship with Graham? Just how you talk?
Pretty much same. I mean, Graham is Graham. All the time that he loved the cars, he loved racing mostly, of course. So we talk about a lot of stuff, on track, off track, and we have a lot of common, the hobbies and stuff like that. But Graham is a really mature guy. I mean, he might be too aggressive and too young. When I was when I first came to the States, Graham and I had a little bit history, but on track actually.
Yeah.
But we get on really well now. We understand each other. We share the view each other, and our interest is of course your ultimate goal. But then basically our interest is getting this team stronger. That's ultimately, give the drivers back to our performance. So I think that's why we talk in the same language, which is really good.
maybe you were a little aggressive back then too?
Yeah, I was too. For sure.
I figure the two of you you've kind of grown a little bit together, and now you're a little older and a little wiser, and he is a little.
Yeah.
He complains about being older even though he's 30. He complains about because he started at 18. So.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, he was the youngest driver to won the IndyCar series, right? Maybe
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's definitely from that. You know, he feels the age and past and experience, but I mean that's why he became such a good driver now. You know, very skillful, also experienced, and I think he's a quite consistent guy. I would say.
He started he's on the podium at 18. So he was on the podium before you started racing.
Correct. Which is quite scary,
How
right?
crazy is that?
Yeah. But it's all right.
Yeah.
I caught up.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this.
The one thing Bobby said about you a couple years ago when they were bringing you in is what he loved about you was you have this tunnel vision like focus. You're so serious, and like when you're focused on something, you locked in like nobody else.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean your focus. I mean how serious and intense you are. I mean it just.
I mean, I don't know. I don't realize myself because how I have been. So I don't know. I never really even tried to compare to anybody. So that's me. If the Bobby sees me that way, I really appreciate. But I think it's the focus is important. Whatever you do, right? I mean, passion and focus is important. I think for me, what do we say? The gifted talent is definitely something, but it's not everything for me. Because otherwise, it's no fun, right? I mean, gifted people is definitely we see the genius, and for sure, is superior. But whoever wanted to do with a passion and try something, which you definitely need a focus and your attention and the people who support it and make it achievement, that is a great name of the sport for me, and that's why I'm challenging.
One of the things that Graham brought up last evening was that being the biggest guy in IndyCar right now is definitely a challenge. I don't think you have any risk of ever matching up in weight with
No,
him.
definitely.
It's one of those things when we talk about older, it's the older guys typically are smoother. Do you see that in your own driving style?
Yeah, probably. In my measurement myself, yes, it's getting smoother. Maybe still rough from outside, but yeah, myself, yeah, I'm trying. Trying every time I jump in the car. Even 3 days ago at the Laguna Seca, I'm trying to make it smoother, being on the edge as consistent as possible. That is ultimately everybody is trying. Yeah.
Okay, let's go and wrap it up with Takuma.
Okay. All right.